MNC, it's MNC. He gon' rack it up, get your game on, and he gon' bag it up. Y'all know what mooch on, mooch and crap, mooch and crap, mooch and crap, mooch and crap. It's that time to get ready for the MMC show. Grab your coffee or your liquor, cause we ready to roll. They talking games, custom gadgets, and you already know. Dial that number, leave them questions, and away they go. Be a pony or a bot, the truth be it don't matter. We just gamers talking games, not those drama queens matters. So let's talk about gaming, news, leaks, and reviews. This a fan show on whatever topic y'all choose. True Xbox fans, and y'all know we bleed green. Yet we got every console we can play, everything. Got that Forza, got that Halo, got that Fallout, got that Kratos, got that Zelda, got that Spidey, got that AC, got it Ike, mooch and crap. Mooch and crap, mooch and crap, mooch and crap. We just talking about games, no drama. That's how we do. MMC stays a show just for the people. Nostalgia is a hell of a drug to be a fiend to. Gaming is the #1 hobby we all keen to. Mooch and crap, bringing gaming opinions and facts. MMC is back on the map. It's the best for show, and that's that. It's MNC, it's MNC. It's mooch and crap, it's mooch and crap. MMC is back, MNC is back, it's back, it's back, and y'all already know.
Welcome to the MNC show, and we are live.
Yes, we are live. It's the MNC show, and I'm sure of one thing. Mooch is extremely happy that I didn't start off the show the way he thought I would, but hold on, Mooch.
Oh, God. Sony couldn't get the flute guys this year, so they hired Crap.
They did. I'm practicing. You know, I'm gonna be taking the flute guy's place. I've got a nice outfit planned and everything. It's gonna be fantastic. I can't really, I'm very excited for it. It's the MNC show. We appreciate you guys coming out. We're very sorry we missed last week. That was just bad. It was like there was one thing after another.
What?
It
All
really was.
signs pointed to no show happening.
Yes, we were actually going to do a show,
Yeah.
and then we were like, it couldn't happen. It was a big storm and all this kind of stuff. So thank you guys for coming out. Make sure you guys like and share out the video to the social media platforms. You know, YouTube isn't always keen to do that.
Right.
So, let me introduce you. We got the man here. We got Mooch, who yesterday, I got to say, thankfully was full of energy, as I was not. But you did a really great job. And we did a great job on Xbox.
It's amazing what a week off gives you, Crap. A lot of energy. Get back into it. You know what I mean?
It does.
I got to be honest with you. I love podcasting, and yesterday's show was fire, buddy. It was a great show.
It was. It was a really. I like the group that we got on there right now. To be honest with you,
Me too.
It's a diverse group of opinions. Not everybody agrees about everything, but at the end of the day, it's it's a console gaming podcast where everybody's a console gamer there. You know, it's not
That's
like
right.
one that's going around pretending to be a console where gaming podcast where like 4 or 5 members mostly PC game, because there's a lot of that out there. And I feel like I'd rather be genuine, even if everybody doesn't agree. And I like that fact, right? Like, everybody has you and Shady get into it a little bit. And, I think that's kind of fun. And like, same thing with Crossfire, right? I didn't used to like that, but I kind of like that now, that little back and forth where you're just like,
I mean, the thing about it is, I think what's great about podcasts in general is that the difference of opinion brings on great conversation. And it's funny, as weeks go in and weeks go out, the one thing you'll notice, I believe, is some people, me included, by the way, Crap, there's some things that I didn't like that I came around. It took me some time, but I came around to it. Yes. And I'll be honest with you, that's I think great debate sparks. So, I mean, having a great dynamic on a panel, and I'll tell you something, to be honest with you, this show has it too, even with the small panel we have, because there are a lot of times that me and you don't see eye to eye on certain games or policies. And that also goes for Sully.
Yo,
Sully!
Yes, I'm here.
He loves State of Decay too.
Yes,
we were just talking
He's
about
trying
that.
to get me to love it. And I got to be
Best
honest with you, I
ever.
do like it more, but not quite at Sully's level.
Well, what's changed about it, Mooch, where you like
Okay.
it a little bit?
Well, that's a great question, Crap. I'll tell you this much. So it's less buggy, first of all. And you might go, no shit. But I mean, it kind of is a big deal. It is a big deal. The bugs, the getting stuck in the wall, that nonsense seems to be alleviated. At the same time, Crap, I will say this much. it is still clunky. So what I'm liking about it is I love the fact that you go out. I like that they've also stopped with the, hey, hurry up back here. Sammy just put a rusty nail in our only cherry tree.
Did they stop that?
It's not as frequent. We played for, I've got 6 hours logged in or 5 hours on Twitch.
6 hours,
Crap.
yeah.
I think once it said something like that to come back. It wasn't like when we went out, it was every mission. I will say some of the tedious things that are still lingering, and I don't think this can ever get fixed in a patch, is that the biggest your duffel bag can hold when you go out is 8 items, okay? Maybe it's 2 more with the pocket slots. But my point being is that you go out and you venture out a decent distance from your home base, and then all of a sudden you do one little task and you just pick up some things you need and you're immediately full, and then you got to race back again. So it's a very much a back and forth game. It'll never be, this is a game where I think the score does speak for it. You know?
Yeah.
I would not give it, I mean, what did it get? Did it get a 68?
Something, hold on, let me see. State of Decay
like 68,
to
69 or something.
Something like even 70. I think that score hits home because basically it still plays like a 360 game.
66.
Yeah,
This man.
Ooh, that game.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's not his fault. He's not meta or critic. I think that the game is a polished 360 game brought up to 4K resolution. For me personally, that game is, between a 65 and a 70 all day. It is what it is. I think it can be fun. If you're looking to have a lot of fun with 4 friends, it's there, but don't think for it to while your socks off.
The problem is, though, the main problem that I have is, even if the game was okay, is the fact that what 4 friends are going to want to go help you if it's not helping them?
You know what? The only 4 friends are friends like Sully, because Sully's got 6,000 hours logged in. To him, it's no problem to help out.
600 hours, not 1,000.
Oh, my fault. I added a 0, gave you a comma.
6,000.
Gaming isn't 600 like 6,000 for most of us.
He's got 6,000 hours. He's Sully. That's a crazy amount of hours. But look, here's the thing. I actually, I don't. The reason why I'm bitter. Like, it sounds like I'm more bitter about that game than some of the other ones because I had higher hopes for that game.
So
right? Because I liked the first one, and I was like, man, but the first one was such kind of a mess, and they're the indie developer at the time, even though they had to deal.
You give them a pass.
Yeah, and it's an arcade game, but even what's funny was they had so much content in the original one, like all these DLC and add-ons and stuff, and it was more of a story. Like, you got chapter-based achievements for actually doing stories. It wasn't so
story, yeah.
Yeah, there wasn't so like random elements. Like, there's not really a story in State of Decay 2. It's just random elements, like almost games as a service. Like, here's your daily, here's your random element. And that's, I think, the part that I don't like, that and the fact that, okay, you're going to play it with your friends, but
that's a great point.
I don't want to play 5 hours in Mooch's game and have that affect my game none.
Yeah, talk about the ultimate mooching, right?
It is. It's like, hey, you guys, you want to go, and then it's
hey, anybody want to play State of Decay 2 at Mooch tonight? I could use your help and all of your shit. Give it to me.
Exactly. So that's the part I was hoping. It's Microsoft, and they said AAA all the way, right? And then it's not. It's a double A, and and like I said, you can play with friends, but I don't want to play where I got to do like triple the time because I got to do the same stuff over and over again in everybody's game to be able to accomplish that for them and myself and you, and you know what I mean? So that kind of is like a pain in the butt. I don't understand why that game's like that when most other games are you progress this. Like, imagine if you play Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1 or 2 or whatever, and I'm a Captain America in my brother's store, and we played through those games recently, actually. And imagine if he didn't get his game didn't progress while he was helping me. Right? That's stupid. Like, that doesn't happen. So I found it to be a little bit ridiculous. So I was disappointed in it, especially with all the bugs. Like, you didn't think it was going to be that buggy because they had Microsoft's backing. But then again, you got to remember, like, at the time, I guess Microsoft wasn't really investing a lot of money in their games.
Servers need work, man.
The thing about it, too,
it isn't servers. It's hosted by us. Whoever's internet connection is the host.
It's
yeah.
Right.
person to
And
peer to peer.
If you got that South Texas internet that Sully's pulling down,
awesome,
we're all in
the
trouble.
best internet, almost rivals Crap's internet. So, yeah.
Well, I mean, getting back to your original point, though, Crap, was this. I went into State of Decay 2 the same way I went into Days Gone. I'm a zombie nut. I love the games. Love them. So I said, I don't really care. I frankly don't care what the Metascore is. But when you went into it and you saw that they didn't, that's why, like something like Days Gone, where they went in and they did what they did. I think Days Gone, and don't get me wrong, Days Gone launched with issues as well. But here we are, whatever it is, how many, 10 days, 14 days after launch now, and we're at a point where they've had 7, 8, 9 patches, and the game's playing great, and it's a lot of fun. And it's one of those games that as you progress through it, you truly enjoy it more and more. And that was something that when I went back and did 2-day streams last week of State of Decay, I was wanting to kind of fall back in love with it. And I'll tell you this much. I got to a point, Crap, where the game is tolerable, but not something that with the lineup of games you have coming back, I could see going back and putting in hundreds of hours. I could see maybe putting in another 30, 40 hours at a time, but not much. Not much.
Yeah, I mean, like, I get it. Like this I don't know. Maybe I'll try it if you say they aren't doing the same. Like they pissed in my Cheerios minus 14.
It's
food.
not that so bad anymore, and you also your home base doesn't get invaded as much as it used to. I think those are some of the complaints they heard, and they did act
easy
on
mode,
it.
Though that we were not easy standard.
We were on
mode.
standard mode, yeah.
Dread or nightmare mode, you get attacked quite a bit. So
yeah, but then it goes to the other extreme where it's just like you can't
crazy,
even walk 5 feet away without getting like. I mean, there has to be a happy medium there. I mean, that's up to the game developer to develop. I like to play most of my games on hard, but I got news for you. There are certain games that come out where they're just swarming you, and you're like, all right, at this point, you have to have 600 hours logged in to have a group of people in your home base that are worthy of fighting that kind of opponent. But Crap, what else we got in the news? We've got a lot of stuff.
We did have that state of play.
Yeah.
And Mooch was like, he goes, hold on, guys. I got to go watch it real quick. I'm back.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
I didn't realize our intro song to this show was going to be longer. I didn't, when they said 10 minutes, boy, I think they cut it to 9 minutes, 30 seconds. They didn't want to take any chances of crossing that 10-minute mark.
Well, what did you think of it? I mean, Final Fantasy VII remake, re-revealed.
Isn't that game gonna be broken into 3 parts? That's what I've been hearing. Like they're gonna stretch that game out into 3 games, $60 games. So I don't know.
My biggest issue, though, Sully, with that whole thing that we saw wasn't even that. My issue was that everything they showed had really far out dates in this year.
Yeah, that's
and right. I thought that you're gonna throw a 10-minute show together. I thought the big fireworks and bonanza is go play this game now. And it's like, it showed Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy 7, again, didn't have a date. It said, we'll tell you more in June. Great, because Square Enix is going to have a booth at E3. So we'll find out more. That's great. Then I saw the Medieval, and it said, coming in October. I'm like, October? I mean, first of all, that's a game that you kind of want to get people to say, I don't have a lot going on. It's a perfect summer swoon game. Maybe it's $30 because it's a PS1 or PS2 game revitalized. It looks like they did some decent. You can't say that you were excited for Crash Bandicoot and that you're not excited for something like this. I wasn't excited for Crash. I'm not necessarily excited for this. But why not release that in June or July or even the end of August? October seems like a long distance for this to be announced now. And then there's that game Away crap where you're a squirrel. And I got news for you. That's definitely not my bag, baby. Not at all. I can't have nothing to do with that. So, the whole showing was just getting the Monster Hunter World stuff, great. And it looks like that might be maybe that's a package that PS4 is going to get ahead of time. That'll eventually come to Xbox if it's not coming day and date. And I don't know. That's DLC for a 2-year-old game. What do you want me to say?
Well, look, I kind of like Medieval. It's one of the games that I remember having a good time with on the PlayStation. So this is a complete remake, obviously, because you can't remaster PS1 game, because they look so bad. And the people that did this were the same ones that actually did, believe it or not, iDarb, like Mike Micah and his crew. They're the ones that went out and remade this game. So good on for them for doing that. They also remade the Mega Man collections. We bought those we've had those recently. So yeah, I think that's cool. As for the game you were talking about, what is it? A timed exclusive?
You're talking about what now?
The game you were talking about, Away, I believe.
I think that's a PlayStation. No, it's a PlayStation exclusive. It's made by, I thought it was Sony Entertainment that made it. So,
Is it? Okay, well, PlayStation exclusive. Good for them, man. They've
Yeah.
got they seem to be announcing some games. That's not is that a AAA, do you think, or is that more of a
I
double
don't know.
A?
It looks like a double A, I think. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Okay, I mean that's
yeah, double A.
semantics, I guess. Yeah, I mean, it's Predator Hunting Grounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Asymmetric Predator game.
Yeah, I mean, look, I guess you think, because I mentioned this, I think yesterday, they're going to do a state of play on E3 day, right?
I would assume they're going to do one in that vicinity.
Oh, I mean, yeah. Don't you think it makes sense for them to do it the same day as Microsoft does their show, right? Like drop theirs in the morning.
It's an idea, but it's not. They're not going to do that. I don't think it'll be the same day, crap. I really think it'll be the night before or the day after. I don't think it's going to. They don't want to mess with what's going on. With Xbox has a lot to announce. They've got the stage presence. Even if they announce a release date for The Last of Us, which is probably their biggest weapon right now. I don't know if you'll agree with that. What purpose would that would kind of get eaten up by they're going to talk about Anaconda, and they're going to show Halo, and they're going to show Gears with this ridiculous amount of time. Even if State of Play comes out and it's 30 minutes again or 45 minutes, it's not going to overlap that. I would show that the day after or the day before, so that going into Microsoft's actual show, you have this hype behind the Sony train again. I mean, that's the way I look at it. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I mean, you could be. So I'm watching this trailer. Apparently, I missed this Predator Hunting Grounds trailer. This is the exclusive that you guys are talking about? Or
I don't know if it's gonna.
It says Sony.
Predator's an always online game they were preaching about.
Oh, okay. So Sony, it's a Sony Interactive Entertainment game. So this is an always online game from Sony, and it looks kind of like Ghost Recon Wildlands, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Huh.
Do you think, to be honest with you? So and again, it's a Predator, like the Predator, right?
It's the Predator, like the Predator, the movie from the 80s. Absolutely.
Okay, so yeah, and it's I don't know. That's interesting to me because for me, one of the complaints that I've had about Sony over the years, this generation anyway, they haven't done a lot of online stuff with exclusively. So this looks like it's going to be an exclusive PlayStation game, and it's an online game. So hey, they branched out, did a little something. Who knows if it's going to be good or not? I have no idea, but it could be interesting to see how that kind of plays out. Microsoft, I would love to see them do something single player wise and announce that at E3, like a big single player game. Just, hey, you guys thought we didn't do single player, but hey, we're proving you guys wrong. Here it is. Like, I think that would be something that would be very smart for them to do. And I really looking forward to seeing something like that at E3, because I think E3 is going to be a all out show. And I do think they're going to talk about stupid stuff like PC for a little bit and cloud streaming or whatever. But for the most part, I actually think it's going to be very much oriented around their games. They're going to do a little thing at the end about their new hardware. I think it's going to be sort of like 2016, remember, where they announced the S and the X, right? Yes. I think they're going to do something similar to that. And I think that we're going to get games. A lot of third party for sure. Heavy focus on Halo, Gears, which is stuff we know. Eli Chun says, "What's up, guy? Remember, crap, patience is key." Listen, everybody wrote me off too soon. Since when is having a critical opinion about Xbox not having a AAA exclusive announced since 2015, a new one? How is that me hating on Xbox all of a sudden out of the blue or switching to Sony? I like both consoles. I'm excited for the PS5, the next Xbox, their games. Anybody who says otherwise, they're full of shit. So I'm an Xbox. I like Xbox. I'm excited about what they're doing. Unfortunately for them, when it comes to gaming, you need the games. So that's the part where I'm down on them. But still, the X is an incredible machine, and I'm excited about it. E3 is going to be very telling because I think that myself and a lot of other people are waiting to see what Microsoft has to offer. So
yeah,
very excited to see what they have.
Agreed.
Hey, I'm not a pony. Come on, man. How is that flip-flop? Like, I love when people use that term. Okay, listen, I like gaming. I've been gaming on the PlayStation 4 since 2014. I've liked and reviewed games incredibly well while still loving Xbox. The years come along and Xbox's games get worse and worse and less. and I'm starting to play PS4 more, and that's flip-flopping? Or is that just being truthful, right? Like, I just been playing the better games. Sony, can anybody doubt that PlayStation 4 has had better games the last 3 years, Mooch?
No, I mean, they've definitely put out, I would say, a higher caliber quality product. I mean, but realistically, and it's funny because there's really, everyone says that, but everybody tap dance around it. I mean, they say, well, Microsoft didn't have a lot of money. They didn't do this. They weren't really focused on games. Well, that's fine. You can say all that, and it's all factual. I agree. But at the same time, it's as much as that's factual, that also results in a lesser product. I think people will say that. I think the point of the matter is, I think what we need to move on from is that what your point in short, Crap, is that you're kind of saying, hey, I have a voice, I have a channel. I'm hoping that Microsoft hears me. I hope that people pay attention, and I hope that Microsoft first-party games comes out with a whopper of a lineup of content moving forward. Now, E3 is E3 is going to be absolutely spectacular in the sense of Halo Infinite and Gears 5.
Hey, I'm a huge Halo and Gears fans. I love those franchises. I'm just saying, for me personally, I'd like a little something new added in there that can get people excited about the future.
There's nothing wrong with you saying that, Crap.
Exactly. So I think that people, when they go like, and I'll say this as well, and I know some people just like to mess with me or whatever. If you're the same person on February 9th, 2019, as you were February 9th, May 9th, 2018, then you haven't lived, you haven't learned. Right. We were constantly changing our opinions and thoughts. Maybe you liked the movie at first and didn't. Maybe you liked the song at first and now you don't. If you liked NSYNC back in 1999, you probably still don't like them today. Right. Are you a flip flopper? No, your taste changed. I like video games. Sony puts out incredible first party video games. There's no doubt about it. Microsoft is kicking the crap out of Sony in every other aspect. Unfortunately, when it comes to video games, the games matter. And, third-party stuff, yes, you can play it best on Xbox One X. Love that. I want to see their first-party step up. I'm not going to just give them a pass and say, hey, it's going to take more time. This is Microsoft. Money talks, bullshit walks. Microsoft has the money to get stuff out, and I'm sick of waiting. They need to announce stuff this E3. That's basically it for me. But, Mooch, I do want to talk about Sony caving in on something that was ridiculous to begin with, and that is what's up with EA Access, right? That finally comes to PlayStation, and it's less than the game content is far less than what we've seen on the Xbox One, because there's no backwards compatibility titles. Right. There's none of that. So what's the deal with that? What do you think about that in the same price? How do you feel about EA Access? And are you interested in EA Access? I think it's about damn time for sure.
I think it's about damn time, but at the same time, I'm not interested. I'm not interested in on Xbox either. We kind of touched on this a little bit last night on Xbox Nation. Crap, I don't feel, and this has nothing to do with the band. I'm not one of those people that says EA's the worst company since fill in the blank. No, I don't. Boo that company. For me personally, I have nothing against EA. I don't think they've put out anything that I personally care about recently. And when people say, people get things misconstrued here a bit, $30 a year does not get you day and date games. $30 a year gets you last year's old games, and then you get 10% off. I mean, 10%. I mean, imagine if you you went to dinner with your better half, and the meal was terrible, and the service was terrible, and nobody refilled your drink, and you go, I'd like to speak to the manager, please.
Yeah.
And you're like, listen, my food came out cold. We didn't get any refills. I actually had to get up twice to get my waiter over here. Okay. And all of a sudden the manager goes, I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. We'll take off 10%. 10%? No, 10% is not a lot, right? What is that? 10%? I mean, look, I get that if you're a big-time EA guy and you're buying 4 or 5 games a year, it pays for itself. I get it. I can do the math. But realistically speaking, for $30 a year, you get last year's sports games. Who cares? And then you got 10% off of probably one game you're going to buy. I don't know. Myself personally, I thought it was a great. Listen, the reason I said this last night, I'll say it again. The reason I thought EA Access was so great when it came out the first time, it was the first digital service on console for the most part.
Yeah.
Like that, where you paid a subscription and then you got something back in a vault. In the case of like a library.
You know why I
right?
liked it? It was because, and I used to preach this because people didn't realize this. Like when I saw a lot of Sony fans kind of misconstrue what it was, they're like, it's just a demo service. And I'm like, no, you get a discount when you buy stuff digitally, first of all, which is cool. It makes most games like $51 or whatever it is. A pretty good discount you get there. Secondly, you get 10 hours of the game early, right? So like I'm playing Madden
game for 10-hour trials.
Like,
yeah.
So check this out. Like I'm able to review Madden with my EA Access trial because in 10 hours you get access to the entire game. You can play the story mode, a couple of online games, the franchise modes. You can literally the Mutt League stuff. You have access to everything. You can play 10, and then by the time it's up, you get a good indication of what the game is. You can review the game, like Battlefront. I played Battlefront early, Battlefield early. I played those Need for Speed games early and realized they sucked, and so I didn't buy them. It's incredible. You get to play and your stuff carries over, so you get your achievements. Yeah, your progress carries over to the actual game. I think that's awesome. So, granted, they haven't had incredible games this year, and I did happen to or this generation. You know what I mean? And so I think that's unfortunate because they, like I said yesterday, they were killing it last generation. They had so many great games, and I decided to write a song for everybody called the EA Access Blues. That's the EA Access Blues. Thank you. I take donations in the super chat if you guys want to help out. Just help a struggling artist trying to make his way in this world. So thank you guys very much.
That's great.
Hey, nobody can say we're not entertaining, man. People can sit there and say what they want, but hey, we're entertaining people and we're here to entertain you. I think it's cool. Try it out. $5 a month. Hey, there's no harm in trying.
No, give it a shot. Try out for yourself. I highly doubt you'll resubscribe.
The new Star Wars game is coming. You can get the trial, beat that game, and
well,
cancel.
There you go. Good thing. Actually, that's the one silver lining. I do think EA Access gives their subscribers the fact that you could play the 10 hours, or sometimes it's the first few levels of a game. That's a nice little option. That's something. But does that mean enough to you for $30 a year? Maybe with the other two things combined, it's not bad.
You could get some you could get some cool deals on that. Like I bought EA Access when it was on sale for $15 before for a year. You can get it for $15-$20.
That's
and
rare,
I think
it goes that cheap. Yeah.
So I think you can, like, same thing with Game Pass, Moosh. Don't you only buy it when it's half or like $30 for half a year or something?
Yeah,
right?
When I can buy, so full price is $120, right? So when they have their deal and you can get it for the half price. Last year around this time, as soon as we approached E3, that was when they did I think it was $65 for the year or $69 for the year. I mean, I had to try that. You got to grab that. That's cheap. And there are games in there that whether you're mooching, you're buying, you're passing, there's games you're not going to buy. All right. So it's worth it. But I mean, for me personally, to say that I'm going to end up buying Gears 5, I'm going to buy Halo Infinite, right?
I'm going to buy Gears 5 and Halo Infinite too.
So I don't see why that for me personally, those other games that are becoming like everyone says, wow, I'm really excited for the games in the vault, right? So let's look at that. Monster Hunter World, I own it. Look at I
own it too.
Right? There's a few games in there. Shadow of the Tomb Raider, I own it.
I own it too.
I think Doom's in there. I own it. It's like you go on and on, right? And it's like Wolfenstein
too.
Okay,
I own it. I haven't even played it yet.
I played it. Actually, I got to be honest with you. That's a game I want to go back to. But nonetheless, I got to say,
I love the first one.
I beat the first one.
I was really excited about the second one. And then just like Shadow of War, I have not played. Like I started it and I got a half hour in and I haven't gone back to it. I liked it and it looks great on the X, but there was so many other things that were coming out. So I was just like, yeah, you know what I mean? I'll wait around or whatever. Hey, we got it was over 400 watching. Please share it out, like the video. Let's get over 100 watching, man. See if you guys can come in here and join the fun, man. We're having a damn good time. Gotham guys says, awesome show, guys. You guys both know that Microsoft is going to excite the fans at E3. Crap, I think you're afraid to get your hopes up out of fear of being disappointed, but don't worry, it'll be okay. Here's the thing. I've enjoyed what Microsoft has done at E3 the past few years because they've showed some good stuff, right? Which like multiplat gets people excited. I like the games that they showed. From a new game aspect or something to really excite me. And maybe it's just because I'm getting older. I don't know. Some of their games they just aren't as exciting to me. Like they haven't excited me as a first party yet. Their hardware gets me excited. Boy, howdy, man, I'm half chub right now. But at the same time, you've really got to get out there and get excited about it. Mooch is like, you got to really be excited about what they're offering software wise. Because let's be honest. And this was going to be a title for a video I was going to do, but I don't know if I'm going to do the video. Newsflash: console wars are over. The content wars are where it's at. It's the content. Their console wars are done. That like Microsoft has totally thrown that over the cliff. You can't bring up console wars because they're not talking about their sales on anything. They cut that off. There's the only speculation at this point. Content wars, however, the quality of games, the number of games, exclusive content, that's where it's at. That's where next gen's going to be at. That's the meat. That's the potatoes. So you can't have a State of Decay 3, sorry, Sully, versus a Uncharted. You can't do that anymore. That's the problem with Microsoft this generation. State of Decay, I'm sorry to keep picking on that game. I know. Look, State of Decay wouldn't have gotten much hate if it would have came in between a Gears game and a Forza game. I'm just being real. If it had some kind of buffer between it. The fact that we had nothing for so long, that really hurt the game, right? And that continues to hurt their lesser game. Crackdown as well. If Crackdown came in between a Halo and something new, it probably would have got a little bit better score. And it deserved a better score. I'm going to be honest with you. So, that's just one of those things that really people have to kind of keep in mind when they talk about Xbox or PlayStation or console wars. I mean, it's not so much console wars, it's content wars now. That's what it is.
I gotta be honest with you, Crap. I don't even know if it's that. And you might go, what do you mean? I just told you. But Microsoft's doing the same thing that they're doing with consoles that they're also doing with content, because they're gonna have a lot of content coming out. But it's going to be
they gotta
everywhere.
Have quality content.
Well, they do, and that's one of the things. So everyone's really excited. That's a great topic, and it's just something it's concerning for Mooch. I'm not saying it's necessarily something that's bad, but it's definitely a discussion piece. So the rumor is that Ninja Theory is going to have right. They're going to have their game that releases probably in 2020. That being said, let's stop and think about this for a second. This game has also been rumored to be more, and Crap, please correct me where I'm wrong, has been rumored to be worked on for the past 5 to 6 years by this company.
Yeah, it got shelved for a little bit, and then I think Microsoft came in and probably they're like, "You got anything in the hopper? Can you show us?" And they probably showed it to them, and they're like, "Hey, we like this, pick it back up or whatever." And so that's
now my only thing about it is, and don't get me wrong, I'm a huge fan of Hellblade. I thought it was a great game, but let's be honest, it was a beautiful. it was a triple A.
It is.
Game,
look, that game might be the best.
Yeah,
it's super linear and like puzzle-y. You know what I mean? Like they did a good job of getting that AAA look. Right. Like that game might be the best looking game this generation on the Xbox One X. Holy crap. Is that a gorgeous game, right?
It's up there. I wouldn't say it's the best, but it's up there. Yeah.
It's up there. Yeah. So you can imagine what they could do on the console, right?
Right. So my point isn't about aesthetics or looks. What I'm trying to say is that since this was something they've had in the cooker for 6 years working on this, like my concern is that this is also going to be like not Hellblade, but like a Hellblade, where it's going to look beautiful, but maybe extreme. When I say linear, I don't mean linear like Uncharted. I mean linear like Hellblade. And I'm not saying that's bad, but I don't know if it's necessarily what everyone's excited about coming. I think Ninja Theory's next game after this is going to be the one that everyone's going to hoot and howl over, right? That's the one everyone's going to get really excited about. That's when you're going to see the expansion of the development team, the money that Microsoft's thrown at them kind of come to fruition, and put all of that together with another 3-4 years with that developing time and not having that worry of where's the money going to come from next. That's where you're going to see Ninja Theory really explode. So I'm still keeping a lot of my expectations a little bit simmered. And you're probably going, what do you mean by that? I'm just saying Gears 5 is going to be very good. If they want to make it great, I've got to see where they're taking the game and expanding on it. If they expand on it, that's great. Then they're going to all blow our socks off. But, I mean, realistically, we have Ninja Theory's game, which I think is going to be Hellblade-ish, And a lot of you might go, that's great. It is great, but I think we want more from that studio eventually, and we'll get that down the road. And then, you have Halo Infinite, which, man, I got to tell you something. The potential for this game is through the roof, crap. Halo Infinite is, right? The potential through the roof, but it could also be a multiplayer-focused game where maybe they'll lose a little bit of that core audience. We don't know how they're going to tweak Halo to make it still feel like Halo of old, and yet at the same time, move forward and progress the way that games are going, especially with games as a service.
Exactly. Hold on. BK Beds says is the Predator game exclusive. Yeah, that's an exclusive Sony game. It looks like it's kind of like Ghost Recon Wildlands a bit. It's an online only title. Right. So again, that's where content comes in. Immortal says next gen there will be no exclusive games. All games will be playable on all devices. Next gen will come down to power, and it's all but confirmed Anaconda will be more powerful. Well, here's the thing. All devices like what? I mean, if you're just streaming this stuff, I think there's a huge difference between streaming a game and playing it natively on your console. So I don't think you're going to see PlayStation 5 games on an Xbox or a Nintendo. And I don't think you're going to see Nintendo games on an Xbox or a PlayStation. I actually don't even think you're going to see Xbox games on a PlayStation or a Nintendo for the most part. Maybe some of them smaller ones or whatever. But if you want to play these at their best, you're going to have to buy the platform. Therefore, Microsoft gives you a couple options there because you can play them on PC as well. But it still comes down to content, right? Like it would make everything redundant if you could play Nintendo, PlayStation, and Xbox games on one box, right? Like that's totally redundant in my opinion. I think Sony, whose bread and butter is consoles, realizes this. That's why they're going to be the last ones to do anything like that. You're going to be able to play your games anywhere with them, I believe, right? Stream it. If you own it digitally, stream it to their thing. But again, just like how they did remote play, which nobody's talking about already, Mooch, right? Remember when they announced that with their iPhones or whatever it is? They only allowed it on and their own phone, right? So you're not going to be able to play PlayStation games on Xbox or anything like that. You're still going to need to buy their hardware to play. And I think that's what makes Sony much more in the game. They played this game a long time, Immortal says playing is playing. Hey, give me some kind of moochism there, Mooch, because he's saying playing is playing.
Well, I don't
know.
Listen,
hey, listen, when you were a kid and you first learned out about porn, right? And you had that channel, it was all scrambled. Yeah, sure. That's cool. But when you actually can watch the real thing, that's freaking much better. I'm just saying there's a triple X rated moochism. I'm sorry, right? Like we all, you know what I'm talking about, right? Mooch, like the scramble channel, right?
Yeah.
Like you could, I think there's a nipple. Holy crap. You know what I mean? Like, come on. That's, hold on. I'm going to play the,
my gosh.
can't watch the nipple blues.
Oh God.
Mooch goes, I hope you lose that thing on the way to the bathroom.
I really do. I hope that thing completely gets stepped on. Oh, shit. Everybody
listen, I'm saying playing is playing, I guess. But to me, I wouldn't want to play some of these games on a watch or a phone, right? That's why I think that whole thing is kind of nonsense as it is.
Well, it doesn't. Here's what I've said to you for a long time. I'll say it to the audience. We live in the generation of options, crap. A lot of things are just a convenient factor. One of the best examples I always give is people ride with the windows down and the air conditioning on. It doesn't do much for you, folks. It doesn't do much for you. Some people will go, well, I feel a little bit cooler. Okay, so so if they're feeling a little bit cooler,
you're in Florida and you ride with the windows down and the air conditioning, it's like you get that little bit of cool breeze, and then there's like Labradors breathing on you from the sides.
Yeah, it really
bad.
is. It's like one of the mother of dragons breathing on you. My point being, though, crap, is if they want that option, fine. So what I'm saying to you is, if they want that little cool burst of air with the windows down and getting hit with all that humidity, this is their version of saying, hey, I'm not able to play Gears 5 at home. I guess for the hour, I'm not going to be home. If there is a situation where there's somewhere else, listen to all these. If there's a situation where you're somewhere else, where you're not needed to do much, and you can just stare at your phone, and you're not on your couch, you can play the game. There it is. That's the same thing, crap. It's just an option. Don't go by mere crap. even some of the NPD guys have been saying it on Twitter, where they say it doesn't look like it'll be something that takes over for gaming. It just becomes another outlet for gaming. That's it. That's really all it comes down to, Crap.
Yeah, I agree.
Crap, let me be honest with you. You can go buy. Listen, there's new games that come. There's like the mom and pop games. There's very few of them around, right? There's even GameStop's not holding on too well these days, which is sad in one way. But there's still mom and pop places that sell new games. And I got news for you. Nobody goes. I mean, it's just another option. It's another place to walk in and spend your $60. But more than likely, you're buying it digitally on your couch.
Yeah, exactly. I want to clear something up in the chat because Happa Man says Disney owns Predator, not Sony, so it's not exclusive. It's 100% exclusive. It's a Sony Interactive Entertainment game. It says so at the beginning of the trailer. So Sony signed some kind of deal, and I believe they're making it with Ilphonic or whatever. So it is 100%. It's 100% exclusive. So just pick up a PS4 if you want to play it that bad. They're cheap, and I think they're going to have a super slim.
Yeah, between the super slim's probably going to come bundled with a game. It's probably going to be around $170 with one of those sales you see on Amazon or Walmart for the holiday. I mean, realistically, you can become a dual console owner this Christmas for extremely cheap.
100%. Please hit the like button. We got over 430 people watching. 96 likes. Let's get up to 150 at the blink of an eye.
We have some voice.
We do as well. I want to answer this real question though. Lazim says, "Can we all agree Xbox and Sony will destroy the Madbox console?" I don't even think that Madbox thing is coming out. Remember when I said that, Mooch?
Yeah.
The guy was way too early with that, and now we've seen reports that the people that were funding that are pulling out. So
that's right.
Look, it was bound to happen, right? I mean, come on.
Well,
like Google Stadia gets announced, and people think, I think
Google can do whatever. Google can do whatever they want. Crap, they're one of the big, they're one of the big five, right? They're one of the conglomerates. Yeah. They cycle between 1, 2, and 3 all the time. My point being is, if for them, it's very little money out of pocket.
It is. Mooch, let me ask you something. Do you think it's worrying to Microsoft that nobody's talking about this game streaming or this Stadia stuff anymore? Like it was a news for a week, and then not even really, and now nobody's talking about it. Nobody cares. Do you find it to be maybe Microsoft's concerned about this, or do you think?
I think it's not safe yet to say concerned, but I think it's safe to say at this point that they probably think it's a little bit more alarming. I think they would have thought it would have brought a greater buzz. Then again, let's be fair here, Crap. Stadia and xCloud are not out, so with no release date actually pending. So what I'm saying to you is that it's like everybody's excitement for Shenmue 3. It's like it's there, but it's kind of buttoned up and bottled and put away because nobody has we don't have a release date. So I think until then, but yes, I see your point. I think you would have thought that this would have continued. Like I'll give you an example. Before VR became accessible, whether you're even talking about Oculus or you're talking about PSVR, it was a buzzword, and it was circling through multiple different venues, PAX, E3, even the Build conference. And here you have Stadia does that big release. They talk about it for about 3 or 4 days, and now it's just not. Again, it's an option. And for Microsoft right now, and for Google, I think it's a very inexpensive option to offer their consumers and be able to make whatever that is, 10%, 12%, 18% on said title that's digitally purchased through their system.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
Yeah.
And we do have some voicemails, and if you guys ever do want to voicemail us, Sully, what's that voicemail?
Well,
how do they get a hold of us?
Search Skype MC Show Live, click on MC Space Show. That's us. Go ahead and leave a voicemail there. Live calls are coming. I'm just trying to figure it out. I almost got it figured out. Live calls are coming. Hopefully by E3.
Hopefully. Yes. Oh man, that would be great. Mooch and Crap are gonna have great E3 coverage, by the way, man. You're gonna want to tune in for all the awesomeness. We're working on some new skits and bits, and it should be a pretty fun time. But who do we got on deck there, Sully?
We got Juice Pouch. Juice Pouch.
Yep. Pouch. I can't wait to hear this.
Okay, here we go.
Here we go.
Mooch, Crap. Love your show. I'm gonna try to make this call a little more easier to understand, simple. And it's about Sea of Thieves. Now, I know that Sea of Thieves is a new IP from Microsoft, and I know that we're getting close to the 1-year anniversary update, and everyone seems to be, excited about it. do you think right now that a good amount of time has already passed, does Microsoft and does Rare Studio consider Sea of Thieves a success to the Xbox brand? Thank you guys. Have a great show. Bye.
And that was Juice Pouch.
What do you think, Mooch?
Well, honestly, as much as I see some people going Z in the chat, but I'll be honest with you, that's actually a very good question. Microsoft probably deems it a moderate success, and that's because they're going to throw, Game Pass numbers at you. That doesn't, myself personally, I think it's gotten a decent amount of buzz. It had that little week or so where it really topped out on Twitch, but I made this point last night, and I'll say it again. Sea of Thieves as of last night, and I always like to get a live play-by-play. It's great. You can just go to the app and see where it is. Last night, Sea of Thieves, 2 days after its major update after the year, was sitting at 4,900 views live watching. And I'm looking right now, and they're at 24,000 views today, but they're still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're about, I'm just roughly saying, they're about 20 down. So,
yeah. Well, here's the thing, man. Sometimes a game, and that is a good streaming game. You made that point
yesterday. It's a great streaming game.
It is. You made me feel stupid yesterday because I was like, hey, maybe people just don't want to stream. Like, listen, that is the best streaming game, to be honest with you. It's like one of the best. Yeah. Because it's unexpected. It's random, right? And I think the fact that it's not that people aren't streaming it as much as they were is very telling. But people are always after that big new thing, and so that could be a part of the issue as well. Again, a year later, a lot of people are like, who cares? A lot of people have left it. I haven't really gone back to it. I love the game, but I haven't really gone back to it.
Right.
Again, did you hear they delayed the ability to switch off the crossplay, I believe? So
yeah. We have our own theory about that, right? Crap. Our theory is that they want that mingling to happen because it helps their numbers.
Yeah, so if you look at it too, exactly, that's just like with the Master Chief Collection. They're like, well, it's not confirmed that we're going to do crossplay, but we're definitely looking into it. Like, Microsoft wants to do that. They're just trying to figure it out. But the problem is, especially when it comes to this new Halo mooch, you can't have your console guys get slaughtered by a mouse and keyboard. You gotta.
I don't think that's causing the issue here. I think realistically that the new update that they have coming out does give a storyline. It has I'm not going to use the word single player option, but it gives you and your crew a way to just kind of be your own crew and go out there and solve those puzzles. I like that. I think that's something that if you were sitting in Rare Studios 2 years ago and they said, what is it you really think this game needs before we launch? What it needed is what came out this past week. And that was that make your own adventure, but how do I put it? It's make your own adventure, but they gave you an adventure. So
yeah,
you can kind of make your own stories and tales as you progress through this treasure hunt, which is great. And the way it released, you could tell the game. Listen, you guys, and there's a couple of people in the chat that are like, oh, you just don't like it. Stop it. Just stop it. I've put enough hours into it. I've played it. We're streaming it Saturday night. It's going to be it's a great game. But when it launched, it just wasn't ready. And now the problem is it's like games are always, what have you done for me lately, right? Very few people say, oh, there's a patch from an old game. Let me go back and play it. Some do. And when you get the help of big time streamers to go out there and try it and play it again and revive it, that's a big deal. But I don't know if it's the success that they wanted it to be. I think Microsoft will always claim it a success because they'll throw numbers at you like 8 million active users have actually touched Sea of Thieves. That doesn't really tell you anything. If you just turn a game on, played it for 15 minutes and shut it off, you're a statistic. You count in their 8 million. But really, you weren't a contributing factor or a player, So that's what I'm saying. That's why when you said it's content wars, it's not even content wars. Microsoft has taken all of those numbers out of the ball game.
I still think they're going to do content wars, man. I think it's going to come down
I don't think so.
I do, man. If Microsoft, who's going to want to subscribe to Microsoft's thing if they're the lesser, everybody wants to subscribe to the Disney thing or Netflix because of their content. Even if they are putting their stuff everywhere, you still won't subscribe to it
Well,
if they've got crappy games that are getting
think of
52 Metacritic.
I thought about this the other day. I'll be honest with you, Crap. I think of Game Pass almost as like GameFly, right? There was a lot of my friends back in the day that had GameFly where you could pick the game, they sent you the disc. Okay, that was the old school method. And people would just keep that subscription because games that maybe they didn't want to play or they didn't want to buy. That's what Game Pass, I think, is good for a lot of the hardcore. You hear hardcore fans say it all the time. Well, I was never going to buy that game, but now that it's in there, I really enjoyed it. Okay, great. So it is, that's my whole point. I really think that's where Game Pass, it's not always just Microsoft's game all have to be A+ bangers. You know what I mean? They could have some C's and some B's in there as well, because they're also providing games like Monster Hunter World, okay? Like Shadow of the Tomb Raider, like Doom, like Wolfenstein. Like that. They've got, right?
I like how you got to put the inflection on Stein.
It feels
you
like
don't know it's
Wolfenstein.
Stein, man.
It should be Steen.
Ben Stein. Wolfenstein.
Bernstein Bears.
It's
Steen.
It's not Steve. In my world,
I love
it's
it.
Berenstain. It's actually Berenstain Bears, because if you look it up, it is. It's we remember it wrong, Mooch, or there's some kind of weird thing.
Is it?
Yeah, it's this weird anomaly, Mooch, where most people remember it as Berenstain or Berenstein Bears, but it's actually Berenstain Bears. Stain Bears.
Stain.
Yeah, so a lot of people speculate that there's some kind of cosmic thing where somebody went back in time and changed it, and people are having the trouble. Like, I mean, you can look it up. It's like a real conspiracy theory, and I know people are going to be like, what the hell? But seriously, growing up, it was Berenstein Bears, and now it's Berenstain Bears. So, yeah, just one of those things, man. Just one of those things.
I appreciate that. But I mean, getting back to Xbox Game Pass, I really did right. It was awesome. That was great. There's a test on Crossfire for everybody.
It's serious. You can look it up, man. It's serious.
I believe you. It still doesn't sound right to me for some reason. But, listen, I got news for you guys. I think Game Pass has tremendous value. There's no disputing it, Crap. You really can't dispute it. At the same time, it's just, it's up to beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And that's what it comes down to when it comes to Game Pass. Do people want to pay $10 a month for games that they possibly would have passed otherwise, or for Microsoft's first party exclusives? And I got news for you. Buying Game Pass for a year, starting in, this is not, I don't know if there's going to be a deal or not, but starting in October or November of this year, to be able to get Gears and Halo in that year, that's not a bad year. I mean, if you're an Xbox fan, you're definitely buying Gears or Halo. Maybe now you're not. So that's that. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder on that, Crap. It's hard to argue it. Myself personally, you'll never see me telling somebody you're missing out, you should have Game Pass. I wouldn't say that to you because it depends on who the customer is. It depends.
Yeah. Yeah, it really does. Like, for me, it's not as much of a big deal because, like I said, I buy most of the games or whatever, or sometimes I can mooch them. You know what I mean, Mooch? And Mooch knows what's up. He knows what's up. So yeah, like for me, that's the way that it happens. But I do see that it is an incredible value for a lot of people. Just for me personally, I feel like it's not as much worth my money because, like I said, I buy most of my stuff and it's just another subscription. I actually went through and started canceling some of my subscriptions, Mooch, including PlayStation Plus, which was auto-renewing, and I never play online on that, like ever. Yeah, so I might pick it up again later when I find a deal, but to be honest with you, I canceled that. A lot of the stuff, dude, probably about $70-$80 worth of stuff a month I canceled.
Well, I'm glad you did. You cut the cord and you were going a la carte crazy.
I was, man. It was like CBS thing, this thing, that thing. You know what I mean? Like, so I canceled a lot of stuff, and that was one of them. It was like whatever, it's like $25 every few months or whatever, because that was the plan that I'd signed up for. So next time I see, or if somebody wants to gift me a year, I'm more than thankful for it. But honestly, Mooch, the games on there that they were giving weren't the best, right? Yeah. And I already had it. Like, I hadn't downloaded the ones that they were giving out. Mooch,
well, correct me if I'm wrong, Crap, but the one thing you do get with PS Plus is you do get the cloud space.
Cloud saves, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, for me, that's a big deal.
Back. Yeah, I'll probably get it back. Well, like I said, when I see a deal for like $40 for the year or something.
Well, let me ask you this. So see, here's my situation. I have a PS4 upstairs and downstairs. So when I go between the two consoles, see, Xbox does it a little bit more fluently. So when I'm on my Xbox One upstairs, and I shut the game off and it's saved. When I go downstairs and just turn on the Xbox and launch the game, you guys all know what I'm talking about. The progress bar comes up and it says downloading, basically your last save or your series of save files. It does it automatically and it updates your content. And then maybe I'm doing it wrong, but this is the way I've been doing it. On PlayStation 4, when I'm playing like Days Gone upstairs one night, and then I'll go downstairs because the family's watching TV upstairs, what I have to do is I have to go into the game, or pardon me, you hit the start button over the icon on the menu screen, on the main UI, and then you can hit download, upload content. So what I do is I go to it, and then I just hit upload all. I'll upload all the content from that up to the cloud. Then when I go onto the console downstairs, I have to press the start button, if you will, or options, I believe it's called on the DualShock 4. Yeah. And then you'll hit download, and I download everything from the cloud down to that PlayStation 4, and I have all my saves. So you have to do it manually on the PlayStation, where on the Xbox it's done automatically. If I'm doing that wrong or there's an option I can fix, I'm all ears in the chat or to hear on Twitter. But realistically, it's a bit of a nuisance. But here, my point being is that's something where I need the cloud.
Yeah.
So for me personally, I don't play any online games on PlayStation as of right now.
Yeah,
but
like that's
I need
the thing,
cloud saves.
Yeah, it's nothing because I like PlayStation, like I've been playing a hell of a lot of their games. I think Days Gone is a phenomenal game. It's not an online game. That's not their forte, right? Whereas with Xbox, it's like you need that because I play the Xbox games online for the most part. So it's one of those things that you need. And for me personally, I'll always again, PlayStation has the better games. It's hard to debate me on that. Like, so what means a better game? I guess you can say it's personal. Like each person has their own take. But if you just go by the facts, like you want to go by like scores or sales, their AAAs have been better.
Well,
so
you have Days Gone right now, guys. I mean, anyone that wants to, this is the part that's unbelievable. You've got Days Gone, got a 72 Metacritic, and it's outpacing some of the big title games in Japan. It's been number 1 for 2 weeks in the UK.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just that's what Crap's talking about. So even if you want to dispute it, it's absolutely amazing how Sony comes out with the game. Because like I said, here's the deal. People have been writing me for a long time and asking, Days Gone it's a baby version of The Last of Us.
Yeah,
it's a good game, And shout out to Josh Galvo in the chat. He says, "Mooch, what are you streaming tonight?" We're streaming World War Z tonight. After the show.
Oh, someone hooked you up with that, huh?
Yes, I did. The great.
Yeah,
I believe it was the great Alan Savage.
Nice.
Absolutely, he's a big fan. Big fan of it.
My gamer tag is MOH Crapgamer. if you want to,
I thought you were saying my gamer name is I Heart Alan Savage.
Yes, Alan
right,
Savage.
Yes,
yes, please hook it up, my friend. Hook it up.
But I mean,
Let's go.
I haven't played it yet. Tonight will be my first run through it. But yeah, I think that's the thing, Crap. So that just proves your point. They come out with a game first party, and it's not breaking records, but it's keeping up with some of their titles that did break records. That's kind of outstanding. Crackdown 3 comes out. It's supposedly, in air quotes, a beloved title of Microsoft and Phil Spencer himself, and it didn't even chart. The first month. So I mean, what do you? That's I think where you're coming from. I'm just trying to explain it in layman's terms. That's all.
Yeah, I completely understand it. Like I said, I think that a lot of games get sometimes a bad rap. Look, 72. If that game had come out on Xbox as an exclusive, that probably would have been the best new IP that Microsoft released this generation. I'm just being honest. Like I know a lot of people are going to go, but what about Sunset Overdrive? Hey, Sunset was good, but early on, I just this game had something really ambitious in my opinion. What about what's that? Quantum Break? Yeah, but I mean, Quantum Break was about a 4.5 hour experience. Like this game, you can put 35 hours into easy. More if you want to do side quests.
Absolutely, this game is easily 35, 40 hours if you're just doing the main. I know many people that have reviewed it in its entirety. And they said that, Mooch is like, you're looking at 40 hours easy if you're like running through it. So
exactly. So on AP Cool J says Days Gone is blowing my mind. It's a Red Dead filler for my sadness that it's over. Yeah, I mean, look, Red Dead, I had that same problem. Mooch, remember where I couldn't find anything good to play? I was like, holy crap. And you know it. When you play that, and not even State of Decay 2, dude, I hear you, Sully, laughing back there.
Boo.
State of Decay 2, oh, man, that 66 rated game. Get that out of here, stinky. Ooh, yuck. Yeah, but anyway, so when I played that game, and you know that ending when the music and then the second ending, holy crap, just phenomenal stuff there. This generation has had some really killer games, and I'm really excited. I think last gen had better games, to be honest with you, and more. But this gen has some really nice games too, and stuff like that. But Sully, who do we got?
Yeah, on... another voice.
We got Omega. Omega's back. That's our next voicemail.
All right, let's hear it.
All right, here is Omega.
Hey guys, what's going on? It's Omega again. When did we start breeding mediocrity? I'm talking about the self-entitled gamer and the self-entitled society. When did it come to a point where we feel like we don't have to work for anything anymore? We should get things handed to us and patted on the back and saying, "Attaboy, you didn't work for this, but you should still get it, or get one as well." I'm talking about microtransactions. Now, there are some I agree with and some I don't agree with. For instance, the ones I don't agree with are the ones in Battlefront 2, when you can make your character like Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker more powerful by paying for it. However, the ones I don't care about are the cosmetics. If you want a certain gun skin, pay for it and or play the game. If you want a certain costume, pay for it and or play the game. Can someone take kids down a stroll down memory lane and tell them and show them when we didn't have something called memory cards? Were we self-entitled when we couldn't beat a game and we had to return it? Or we had to play a game from start of the day to the end of the day for around 24 hours without turning off the console because there was no way for us to save it? I don't think so. Now, I know some people are looking out for the quote-unquote consumer by going, well, these companies, they take advantage of people who are very impulsive and they buy things. Here's an idea. If you're impulsive, be impulsive and book yourself a one-way ticket to a therapist and work your shit out. There are winners in this world and there are losers. Not everyone's a winner. Not everybody gets a red ribbon. Life is not great all the time. It's not all sunshines and rainbows. But you still have to work hard and earn everything you get. And if someone says their life isn't complete because they don't have a certain costume, dear God. Anyways, I like to bid you all adieu. That's a big goodbye. Mwah, and good night.
That was Omega.
That certainly was Omega.
That's so Omega. Hashtag.
That's so Omega.
Yeah.
No, I mean, listen, he makes a point with microtransactions that you gotta kind of. I've been saying this for a while. Crap, I'll say it again. I mean, microtransactions should never affect anybody.
Yeah.
It's just it doesn't affect you 99.9% of the time. It doesn't. People are buying an exotic skin, or they're buying a different outfit, or they're buying a different costume, or it's something that it only affects their in-game. It doesn't make them. Now, when there are those few examples, and you guys in the chat will probably say, "Oh, what about this, Mooch? What about this?" There's a few examples where you could say, "Oh, they made this, a pay to win." That's not acceptable. I think everybody across the board will agree with that. And that's why I think you don't see that anymore or as much. So, listen, these games could easily be $70, $75, $80, $85 by now.
Yeah.
So now the fact that they're still $59.99 for almost 2 decades straight, crap. Listen, if you and I are playing the same game and you decide to throw an extra $20 to get a funny hat, knock yourself out.
Yeah, exactly. People do that all the time, man. Like, if you want to buy some kind of cosmetic thing, I'm all for it. Buy some cosmetic thing. I think that's something that's really, really fine. But if you want to buy a more powerful gun, I think that's the point when you actually have that problem. You don't want that pay to win situation, and that is probably what he's talking about.
Yeah.
And I feel 100% the same way. That pay to win aspect, horrible, absolutely the wrong thing to do as gamers. I feel like that you should not reward that type of thing. Honestly, just bad form. And they should what is it? I don't know. It's what was the Mortal Kombat controversy, Mooch? I might have missed that. What was it, over $6,000 to buy everything?
It was somebody, and I'm sure if you just went through and tallied, maybe that's not necessarily wrong, but at the same time, they said it was $6,497, something like that, to buy every microtransaction in the game. And, Ed Boon came out and was like, that's nonsense. First of all, you could play the game, guys. Play the game, right? So you play to win the game. So play the game.
You play to win the game.
It's what it is.
Immortal says, Crap Mooch, what's your take on the U.S. Senator trying to ban loot boxes and monetization?
I don't care for that personally. I don't think the government should have
Why would they butt in on
right? Well, there is somebody trying to do that. I don't care for that at all.
Yeah, it doesn't make much sense, to be honest with you. So
no, I
agree. Yeah,
and not to get into it and I'll dive in. Guys, again, I've said it for weeks. I'll say it again. Realistically, if you get rid of microtransactions as a whole, get ready for the game prices to go up. That's just going to happen. So let the people that want to buy these things and the loot boxes for, stickers. Look at stickers and things like that. What was that? Overwatch, right? You could buy all the loot boxes in the world, crap. All the loot boxes in the world. And you got stickers, you got like a spray paint thing to put an insignia on. That's all it was. And if that's what gamers want to spend their hard-earned money on, knock yourself out. That's up to you guys,
Yeah,
I
agree 100%. I don't think I always think when government and stuff like somebody says $6,440.
Yeah, I said $6,497. I don't know what it was. It was something odd. Like that number's just the number's even just ridiculous.
Lazim says, is this podcast on Apple or Android? Yes,
it's on both.
It's on Google Play. It's on Apple, iTunes. It's on
Spotify,
SoundCloud, Spotify. Just holy crap, we're on everything, man. We're really living that Phil Spencer life, Mooch.
Yes, we are everywhere.
Take us everywhere. While you're on your toilet, while you're on your car,
your smart refrigerator, anything you got, it's Mooch and Crap.
It is Mooch and Crap all day. Every day. Do we have some more voicemails, Sully? Who do we got?
Two more. Cybernox is next. Cybernox.
Cybernox up.
All right, Cybernox.
Hey, what's going on? Mooch Crap, good dang. Hope you guys are having a good night. Just had a quick question for you guys. Now that E3 is coming up, Microsoft has a stage to themselves. Do you think Microsoft will take this opportunity and not allow any third-party developers to say anything about the PS5 brand or PlayStation brand on their stage? I think that'll be a pretty strategic move. Only allow the third-party developers to talk about Xbox and their games only coming to Xbox, and kind of in a Sony smoke and mirrors kind of way. So we'll love to know what you guys think. Hope you guys are having a good night. We'll catch your answer on the show later, gentlemen.
That was Cybernox.
So, so the question actually, a lot of people are probably going, oh, that's just an easy answer, Crap. But with Cybernox must be a long-time Mooch and Crap fan, because he's going back to the days of the way a lot of that smoke and mirror stuff was going on back in 2013 through 2016. I don't think you'll see. I think if Microsoft has any third-party games on their stage, it's not that they'll refrain from mentioning PlayStation. They just won't. I think that's just I think that's just a common code in the business. I don't expect to see that. Now, what I would have posed the question differently, Crap, was I would have said something along the lines of, do you think when these developers or these third-party publishers, if you will, when they have their own little show afterwards, like the EA conference or these other guys that have their shows and post interviews, will they mention then that it's going to PlayStation 4? Yes, they will. They're going to let that's a big advertisement spot for them. When they're on Microsoft stage, no, it'll be all eyes on the Xbox brand for that particular moment. When they go to do their announcements or they have a sidebar or their own show afterwards, it's fair game at that point, because the game is multi-plat. So it will go on all devices, and I think they'll be very quick to say Xbox, PlayStation, and PC, and possibly even Switch. Depends on the game.
Yeah. I think you could be right with that as well. I think Microsoft and Phil Spencer, because I've talked to Phil numerous times, and he's mentioned he doesn't really care about keeping content off other platforms. He said that in interviews multiple times, and I think that that's just going to continue for them. He doesn't that's the way he feels about it, and that's the way he kind of works. So I guess you kind of have to deal with it. I mean, whether you like it or not. I mean, look, if you think about it, it's archaic to do time content and all, but it's just business, right? Like that's the way businesses work. And I think Phil just has different ideas in time. But again, they sort of do a different thing this generation, since they've really just kind of started out getting just completely annihilated the entire generation, right? Like they're forced to pivot so many things. I'm sure when this generation started, their idea wasn't what it is now. I bet it was like completely different at the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I do think that it's it's going to be interesting to see how they play that going forward. Like to me, marketing rights when Microsoft gets it right now, not a big deal, right? Because it's only going to say Xbox logo at the end of the thing. You're not getting anything special. When there is marketing rights for PlayStation, you're like, is this timed exclusive? Are we getting the content? Exclusive this, skins, map, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
I'll tell you something, and I've said this before, and nothing has come out since I've made the comment, but I'll use Destiny 3 as an example. Just assuming that Destiny 3 stays a Sony exclusive and they have exclusive content again on the PS5, I would probably get it on the PS5 only because I would like to try the exclusive content for once. And it's something that's a rarity though. Most games, it's usually you get a hat or a different, color motorcycle, or you know what I mean? You get a different pair of shoes. That stuff that's not going to deter me to buy something on a PlayStation over an Xbox. But if it's actual game content that's a year or exclusive indefinitely, it's just the way it is. If you go to a burger place and the place on the left is giving you fries for free in the bag, and the place next door you got to pay $1 or they don't even offer fries, you're gonna see a longer line with the free fries. I'm telling you right now, guys, that's the way it is. So for your $60, that's where I would want to do it. Like I said, the first time I brought it up was Red Dead Redemption. I said maybe I would give up some of the better, graphics, resolution, lighting effects if it was like unbelievable story content. Once I saw it was like online, you get a free hat, or you get you got an extra pair of cowboy boots. I said no. I don't care. That's not nearly enough to get me to leave the superiority of the Xbox One X. But if Destiny 3 happens to lock down some severe content, some big time content, that would be something to at least decipher. You'd have to think about it. It's worthy of a thought.
Hey, yeah, I agree too, man. I think that it helps people decide, because especially later on in the generation, so many people have both consoles or multiple consoles. They're just looking for a reason to get it on one console over the other, right? So sometimes it's friends, but a lot of times I found that it's really just content and where it's at. You know what I mean? Like, oh, well, what's this version going to get that the other one's not going to get? Like, that's what I think people really have to keep in mind. Or like Phil Spencer in particular, you know what I mean? Like, have something there to entice people to get it on your platform. And I think Phil's idea, which it's not a terrible idea, but his idea is have the best version available, right?
Right.
Which, I mean, that's a smart idea.
It is.
For so many people, they're not even going to have the best version, you know what I mean, of games and things like that. They don't really care. For the average casual gamer doesn't care about that. It's more like, but they do care about maps or strikes or whatever, like that helped Sony tremendously. Remember, people, the PlayStation fans treated Destiny 1 like an exclusive game because they had like outfits that you could wear, dude. Like, it was ridiculous,
Well,
so
they had outfits. They also had exclusive year plus missions that they could do. They got the sparrows that were unique to that console. It was, and outfits in a game like Destiny mean more than outfits in a game like Red Dead Redemption. Where there's this massive open world sandbox that Rockstar delivers, and your third person character is kind of zoomed out at times when you're riding on your horse or this and that. And, you having a different scarf in that game isn't quite the same as having a completely different wardrobe built only for the PlayStation that you could get and have your Guardian wear in Destiny. It's a bigger deal depending on how you look at it.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Tino Stark says, Mooch Crap, do you think the PS5 and next Xbox will have Ultra HD drives for movies? I think so.
Yes.
I think so. And then when you might see versions later where they don't. I like
Right.
that the Xbox One Sad Edition, I guess, came out yesterday or whatever. Did you see they're giving away Game of Thrones themed Xbox One S Sad Editions?
Yes,
I don't
giving
think
away
that-
like 1 or 2, right?
There's
Or 3.
2, yeah.
Right, yeah.
So I mean, I don't think those are gonna help, but maybe if they had a whole line of Game of Thrones editions of those, right? Like people would buy it. I don't think those are going to be a huge successful endeavor for Microsoft, but you never know. It doesn't make sense to me because you can still go online and find the S with a disk drive for cheaper.
Right.
So yeah, it is a little bit weird. Hey, everybody hit that like button. We got one more voicemail, right, Sully?
Yes, we do. We got Gray. Gray is up next. X-Gray.
X-Gray. Let's hear it.
Here we go.
MNC crew, how's it going? My name is Gray. So, first time call, long time listener, been listening since the S was announced, I think. So anyway, I just wanted to let you guys know I really appreciate what you do. Crap, you've been getting a lot of hate lately. Just do you, man. You can't stop the hate. Hate's coming. Everybody's just gonna hate. Like, I think everybody listening to you now knows that you're right. Like, Microsoft definitely failed us as gamers. They need to provide a little bit more than just the, fantastic services, but really, where's the games at, you know? So, you're 100% right. Everybody that's listening here knows you're right, and I think it's fair to say that everybody that's listening now just wishes that you were wrong. Like, we understand where you're coming from. We just hope you're wrong, you know? Microsoft needs to start the next generation running, because Sony's going to start their sprinting, so Microsoft just has to try to keep up. They just provide a little bit more to us. All these game studios that they're buying, let's just hope they deliver. I'm going to get an Xbox. I know everybody else here is going to get an Xbox, but probably just going to keep the Xbox One X, if anything. But let's see what next generation comes. I don't know. I just hope that they deliver. That's all I had to say. Love your show. Keep up the good work. I wish I could say more, but I only have 2 minutes, and then they cut me off, so... Oh well. Mooch, love Borderlands 3. That's all I had to say. See you later. Bye.
That was X-Gray.
Yeah, I mean, listen.
That was a great call in, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it was.
The first-time caller. Guys, call in. MC Show Live, and you get to actually ask a question. Give your feelings on certain hot topics in the news.
You can win stuff.
And you can win stuff,
Yeah.
too. We do have a wheel tonight. I got to
we
be
do.
honest with you, Crap. I think he makes a good point. He's a concerned consumer.
Yeah.
And, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. And, the one thing he brought up that was interesting that a lot of you guys maybe not be talking about, and it really hasn't hit social media that much, is even with these new SKUs coming in, I mean, we talked about it for a smidgen last night with the fact that you've got Knox. Knox is going to be buying, possibly just keeping his Xbox One X.
Go ahead, Mooch.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was waiting for Dutch to finish his song. Go ahead, Dutch.
Go Dutch.
Dutch.
Yeah, hey.
Where you been, Dutch?
Where you been, Dutch? Yeah.
Arthur.
Oh.
So, Arthur.
We love you all. Yes, thank you.
That was so
No,
great.
I really liked his voicemail. Listen, I heard we got a bunch more voicemails, but if you guys are gonna support and be like, hey, we really agree with you, Crap, we support you. You don't gotta throw other YouTubers under the bus or anything like that. I don't really want to operate like that. I had one thing slip up a few weeks ago with somebody, and that's over with. I'm not talking about that anymore. That stuff is not so beneath me to really care about that. I don't have other YouTubers in my thoughts. I focus on our shows. Anybody that podcasts with me knows that there's no kind of crap talk behind the scenes about anybody. If you want to go show support and do a voicemail, do it. But just make sure not to talk about anybody else because I just prefer it that way. You know, it's not really worth it. You know, just keep it gaming. And if you want to show support and be like, hey, you're right, crap, I would really appreciate that because so many people think it's about something else when the reality is it took guts to say the truth about some of these things. And people, I'm not going to keep harping about that. And you guys have seen there's been slight change because there's good stuff going on with Xbox, right?
Yes,
I'm not like, oh my God, I gave up Xbox. That didn't happen. I wanted them to announce some games. I stirred up some stuff, made a little noise before E3, and we'll see how it works out. Hopefully it works out good, but I'm overall excited about next generation in general, and hopefully we see some cool stuff. So thank you.
I do think that next generation, though, speaking of that, one of the things that Gray said that kind of made sense was a lot of people are telling me, hey, at this point in time, because at least for the foreseeable future, and including Halo Infinite and definitely Gears because it comes out this year, the Xbox One X may suffice for many people before they go and purchase a Lockhart or an Anaconda. And I'm not talking about me or you. I'm buying the Anaconda day one. But I think a lot of people may hold on to their Xbox One X until they find out it can't handle new games, which may be a year down. It might be a year after Anaconda releases crap.
100%. Yeah. I mean, if you can play all the latest games on your X and still play them at a high fidelity and frame rate, why wouldn't you? Because I still think they're going to, once the next consoles come out, I think the X is kind of going to have the restraints taken off of it a little bit and develop. You're going to see like these 60 for like, you're going to see more of that. I can almost guarantee it. So, Sully, as we get towards the end of the show, we have a wheel.
Yes.
So
we got a voicemail
do you want to go ahead and put,
I got it ready.
Just before, listen, Sully, just before you put it up, or you can actually put the wheel up if you want. Tino Stark says, Mooch Crap, do you think next consoles will support games above 60 FPS on FreeSync TVs and displays? You know what, Tino? If you asked me that 6 months ago, I would have said, I'm not sure, or probably no. I think that Microsoft will give the option, very similar to how they have on the Xbox One X right now, where you could play it at 1440p for monitors. You know, they're trying to do this whole Xbox is PC and PC is Xbox. I don't think you're going to be seeing 120 frames as an option, but maybe they'll have something almost like an unlocked over 60. So it'll be over 60 for sure, but you know, it could range in the 70s or 80s or maybe even hit 90. I don't know. But if the Anaconda is the beast that they're saying it's going to be, or the rumors are saying it's going to be, I bet they do give an option for something like that with FreeSync TVs. That's a great question, and my answer would be yes, I do think so.
Yeah, I think so too. Why not? I mean, TVs are evolving. We're getting more and more features. FreeSync is more of a thing.
Right.
Some are getting updated with it, so I don't see why not. So hopefully we will see more of that, and I think it's going to be one of those cool things to kind of talk about. But we're not going to really. I don't think it's going to make the difference for the masses, to be honest with you. So yeah, you know, I think
another option. Be there.
Yeah, exactly. So you got the wheel up, Sully.
I got it ready.
Right.
Once I click on it, it's gonna go. That's why. So you guys ready?
All right, let's see. Wheel.
Okay.
Turn.
Here we go.
Turn. Let's see if we can get this wheel out.
Here we go. It's coming to a stop. It's gonna be a close one. Looks like. Oh wait! Oh no! Juice Pouch is our winner. Juice Pouch is the winner for the Wheel of Wonder voicemail edition.
In case you guys were wondering while that
Congrats.
wheel was spinning, I just bought a ticket to Florida to go break that harmonica. I just paid for it. It's great. I'll see you soon, crap.
It's just Mooch. Let's just have a beer. Come on down. It's McDonald's or no Christmas.
It's
Come on,
McDonald's or bust.
McDonald's or nothing.
That's it.
So Juice Box is our winner. We really appreciate you guys. We like to keep, I think, man, an hour and a half is a good amount of time for this
Outstanding show.
Because we keep it flowing. You guys have been great in the chat. Please hit the like button, share it out, support us on Patreon, do all that kind of great stuff, man.
Yes.
We love you guys.
Hey, let me get a quick shout out, crap. Mooch is going live in 30 minutes on twitch.tv, the Mooch78. Come join me in
crap.
Sully.
Get your popcorn ready.
Get it ready.
It's going to be a great show, man. We really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Take us out, Sully. Let's go.
Here we go.
MNC is MNC. He gon' rack it up, get your game on, and he gon' bag it up. Y'all know what mooch on, mooch and crap, mooch and crap, mooch and crap, mooch and crap. It's that time to get ready for the MMC show. Grab your coffee or your liquor, cause we ready to roll. They talking games, custom gadgets, and you already know. Dial that number, leave them questions, and away they go. Be a pony or a bot, the truth be it don't matter. We just gamers talking games, not those drama queens matters. So let's talk about gaming, news, leaks, and reviews. This a fan show on whatever topic y'all choose. True Xbox fans, and y'all know we bleed green. Yet we got every console we can play, everything. Got that Forza, got that Halo, got that Fallout, got that Kratos, got that Zelda, got that Spidey, got that AC, got it Ike, mooch and crap. Mooch and crap, mooch and crap, mooch and crap. We just talking about games, no drama. That's how we do. MMC stays a show just for the people. Nostalgia is a hell of a drug to be a fiend to. Gaming is the #1 hobby we all keen to. Mooch and crap, bringing gaming opinions and facts. MMC is back on the map. It's the best for show, and that's that. It's MNC, it's MNC, it's mooch and crap, it's mooch and crap. MMC is back, MNC